Hello and welcome to Global News Factory. I am your host Vikrant. The people of Ukraine are done clapping for fairy tales and it shows. A new poll conducted by SOCIS, it is Zelensky's friendly media house, it is Kiev based, it just dropped a political bomb. If elections were held now, Zelensky would get only 21.8% of the vote in the first round. His biggest rival, Valerii Zaluzhnyi, is right behind with 19.6%. Now here is the kicker. This is from a pro-Zelenskyy outlet, which means in real life, Zaluzhini is likely miles ahead of Zelensky. And in a second round, Zaluzhini crushes Zelensky 41.4% to 27%. That is not an election, that is a political demolition job. Now, who is this Zaluzhny guy? Only the former commander-in-chief of Ukraine's military, the man who kept the army running while Zelensky was busy playing the global poster boy. Zaluzhny is sharp, grounded, he does not sell hope, he speaks facts. Remember, when he told The Economist 2 years back that the war was stuck and there would not be any magical breakthroughs without new tech. Yes, Zelensky hated that interview, so what did he do? He fired him, kicked him out, sent him to London as ambassador. Basically, shoved him off the main stage. Why? Because Zaluzhny was too popular, too respected, too real. The people want peace, not theater. Zelensky still wants to win the war, but Ukrainians want to end it. They are tired of the speeches, the drama, the Western cheerleading. They want their sons and daughters back. They want prices to drop. They want peace, not endless war slogans. Now, Zaluzhny gets that. Zelensky does not. Zelensky's popularity is in free fall. Let's be real. He was a global darling. He got standing ovations in parliaments, magazine covers, celeb praise. But at home, the curtain is falling. He dismantled opposition parties, silenced critical voices, and even turned against his own generals. Now people see through the act and they are rooting for the man who told the truth when it mattered. Zaluzhny. So what is next? Zaluzhny did not ask for this, but he might just end up as Ukraine's next president and the man who finally puts the war to bed. No drama, no green t-shirt, no Hollywood, just peace. And now you know why Zelensky would not hold elections, because if ballots are cast, he is toast. Back in April, Ukraine's parliament quietly extended martial law until August. That means, surprise, surprise, no elections allowed. How convenient. Now the point is that elections cannot happen during the martial law period. And guess who is loving that little clause? Mr. I am fighting for democracy himself, Zelensky. Former President Petro Poroshenko did not hold back. He accused Zelensky of using the war to grab more power and avoid facing the people. Because, let's be honest, Zelensky knows he would not survive a real vote. So what does he do? Simple. He cancels the scoreboard. No elections equals to no humiliation. Moving on to Iran now. Nuclear power is not a luxury item. It is not somebody's private club. It is a basic right of modern nations to power their cities, their industries, and their future. That is exactly why Iran signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, or the NPT, in 1968, a global deal, a handshake, a promise. In exchange for not building bombs, Iran was allowed to develop peaceful nuclear energy under the watchful eyes of the IAEA, the UN's watchdog. But what did Iran get in return? Endless punishment, no power, no peace, no rights, just obligations. While Iran has never been proven to build a nuclear weapon, the West keeps moving the goalpost. IAEA says Iran is not pursuing a bomb. That is a fact. But still, Iranian nuclear scientists get assassinated. Nuclear sites get bombed, and the watchdog that is supposed to protect the deal, silent. Meanwhile, the US and Israel bomb nuclear facilities, and the IAEA suddenly forgets how to write a press release. So yes, Iran has finally had enough. This week, Iran's government approved a law to suspend cooperation with the IAEA, and really, who can blame them? Iran's foreign minister issued a statement, and it makes complete sense to me. We cannot accept only obligations while being denied our rights. He is right. The NPT is not a Western leash, it is a treaty, not a trap. Let's be honest, this was never about bombs. This was always about control. The West does not want a sovereign Iran, it wants a dependent one that begs for oil revenues, one that cannot power itself, one whose people rise against their own leaders out of despair. Because nothing threatens Western hegemony more than a stable, energy-rich, independent Middle Eastern nation. Now that is exactly what they try to do with India. Remember Greenpeace? That foreign-funded climate activist group delayed coal projects, disrupted India's energy growth, and tried to keep 500 million people in darkness, all under the banner of green values. Prime Minister Modi kicked that fraud NGO out few years back. That was India's Greenpeace movement, and now Iran is having its own. Good riddance. When you watch your facilities bombed, your scientists murdered, your energy program sabotaged, and the so-called nuclear watchdog just watches, then it is time to stop cooperating with the circus. Iran's suspension of cooperation with the IAEA is not a threat to peace, it is a message to the world: enough with the double standards. The West does not fear nukes, it fears equality. Because once developing nations have energy, independence, and public support, the era of Western control is over. And that is, my friends, the real reason Iran had to be kept down. But not anymore, the leash just snapped. Thank you very much for staying with me. You're watching Global News Factory.